if for some reason you have not heard the news, Otega Oweh is back, obviously, back on campus. And I think they are running a basketball camp currently at Kentucky. I think it's like one of those summer camp situations. A lot of major D1 schools always get that, but it gives an opportunity for media and people to get a look at players, how they interact, things like that. And obviously, the media wants to talk to players, and Otega Oweh is the best player on Kentucky. So obviously, people want to get his comments on his whole draft process, what he wants to do this upcoming season, and just a plethora of things. And I highly recommend everyone tap into KSR, who they did a great job like summarizing this stuff. And if you want to get yourself in a Kentucky space, Dion highly recommends it as well. A lot of good information, a lot of good time in there. But one thing that stuck out that I wanted to talk about was that Otega Oweh was talking about the team and talking about his new teammate, Mo Dioubate, who transferred in from Alabama last year and had the statement saying, I didn't like playing against him, which, look, the talking point on this one for me is you watched Mo Dioubate last year, and I think there's a reason why Otega always said that. I thought he was physical, sometimes too physical, because he couldn't keep his hands to himself. That's why he was fouling out all the time. But he was high motor, physical, going 100%. Maybe even like as a team playing against him, you're like, man, that dude, like Dion, you hoop before, you'd be like, oh, that dude's like going so hard, he's like reckless. Like it's like it's possibly like could hurt somebody else because that dude's just playing that hard. But it's the type of teammate where if he's on your team, you're like, I love that. Like that's exactly what I want to see. And to Otega Oweh's point here, if you're playing against him, you're like, all right, I don't like playing against this dude. I hate this dude. Da da da. This, that, and the third. I guess I'll throw it to you, Dion. What do you take of these comments on Mo Dioubate from Otega Oweh?
I mean, you always want the guys on your team you hate playing against. I did look this up prior to us logging onto this video. Now, I don't mean to throw a little shot at Otega Oweh or Kentucky because, like, I feel like me and Kentucky fans have had a bit of a toxic relationship. It's been up and down. We're on the upswing, though. I want to stick on that. Mo Diabate played 50 minutes in the three games against Kentucky. I mean, he didn't have to play against him when he was at Alabama that much. That's just the harsh reality of it. It just wasn't. He didn't have to play against him that much. He fouled out of the first game. What I think Otega hated doing was playing against Alabama, and Mo Diabate was on that team. Now, with that in mind, if there's a team that you hate playing against and you can go take one of their players, you always want to do that. So I agree with Ortega's quote. Like I don't see anything wrong with what he said. You always want to bring in like the best players from your rival teams, right? Like why would you not want to do that? You get to make your team better while making another team worse. And I think that's always the ultimate goal in sports.
This video is brought to you by NBA2K Lab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
Yeah, and look, to me, watching Mo Diabate on Alabama last year, like one of the things that Alabama does is they do like this hard hat thing where like after the game, like the toughest player, the player that made the biggest difference, maybe not even necessarily the best player, but the player that is just like doing all the little things, they're throwing like an Alabama hard hat on them. Shout out to Alabama's media team. I remember seeing that all the time. Uh, Anytime Mo Diabate played like over 10 minutes, he basically got it. Like it really was. He's a high energy, great rebounder, great like connecting big, I think too. Like we're one where you don't need to necessarily worry about what he needs offensively. And maybe for Owe at this point, like he's also looking at Mo Diabate. He's like, last year I was playing with a four and Andrew Carr. This is no shade to Andrew Carr whatsoever, but like Andrew Carr needed his shots, right? Like That's a guy who needed the ball a little bit to try to get his own. I don't think Mo Dioubate is that player if he is the player who is going to start at the four. So yeah, Otega saying he didn't like playing against him. That's funny you said that, Dion. Probably just didn't like playing against Bama, right?
Yeah, I just don't think he liked playing against Bama, and that was okay. Bama was really good last year. By the way, I was on the side that they weren't that good, but listen, they were really good last year. Uh, they were really good last year, and so I'm sure he wasn't the only one that didn't like playing against Bama. But I think I do want to point this out, and I guess are we technically media?
I mean, if we ask like 15 people, I think four people would call us media. So what's that mean?
I guess in my eyes that means we're media.
Yeah, I one
I
means
just
I'm
need one.
media.
Yeah, I just need one person to compliment me, and that's enough.
That
That's all I need.
big facts.
With that in mind, I do want to say a youth camp being used as an opportunity to ask Otega Oweh about his draft process doesn't fully sit right with me.
Why you don't like that?
I don't know why, but I feel like the focus should just be on the kids. And if I don't know what the media process was like. Maybe they opened it up post camp, or
Oh no,
maybe
that's what it was. It was like a
gotcha.
post camp like afterwards, and it was a pretty long like media. So he talked about a bunch of stuff like process, like what he wants to do. They talked to all the players, and like Brandon Garrison had some quotes too about like what he thinks Otega Oweh can do. So it was like an after camp, and they didn't really care about little Timmy and what he did in the lightning drills. They're like, yeah, well, are we gonna win next year?
Yeah, which you know what? That's what makes Kentucky special. Don't get me wrong, but Timmy might have had a day.
Timmy Timmy could have had a day. Mark Pope probably should have been out there recruiting. But yeah, I think it's just interesting to see how Otega views his team and his new teammates. Obviously, because like Otega Oweh played with so many new players last year, basically playing with a bunch of new players this year. Like he's part of the retention. I think there is going to be maybe not like an issue, but there probably be like a little learning curve playing with new teammates, new people all the time. And I'm sure that by the end of this season, Otega Oweh is going to be coming on here and saying that Mo Diabate is his favorite teammate he's ever played with. I put a slight wager on that happening. But shout to KSR, shout to Otega Oweh for being pretty open. You got another thing, Dion?
I was just gonna say, I was gonna make, this is where I get back in the good graces of the Kentucky fans if they didn't like my Alabama comment. He played with a whole new team last year. I think Ortega's gonna be fine. I think this can, if there's one thing Mark Pope has shown, and he's shown a lot more than one thing, I'm standing firm on this. If I was drafting college coaches, it starts with Mark Pope. For the next 10 years, it starts with Mark Pope. But he doesn't need that same level of continuity as everyone else. I think Mark Pope is the continuity.
Yeah, that's true. And like, I mean, given last year, he barely like I would call that not a full off season, all new guys, new job. And he put it together pretty quickly here. I feel like he's been around these guys longer, and I think that'll work out well for him. I don't think he'll have much trouble with that. But shout out to KSR, shout out to Otega Oweh. Not sure how long the kids camp is open, but can't look forward to the next set of questions he has to answer in the days moving forward.